Well, back out for another weekend of exploring. This time Dad and I have headed back to a pretty famous destination and one of our favourites. We're back out at the Bridle Track. So this is pretty exciting this weekend because the Bridle Track has been closed for the last 15 years after a rock slide at Monaghan's Bluff. And finally they have reopened it. So they've done extensive roadworks all around this area and they've bypassed that rock slide that's closed this famous track for many years. Now the Bridle Track is famous as it is the original gold route from the Hill End to Bathurst, and when the gold rush was happening, this was the main route for transporting gold into the town of Bathurst. So back in the Hill End heyday, this route was travelled extensively, and so we're really excited to finally be able to run the whole way through. When I lived in Mudgee, I'd been really waiting for this day. They've been working on this track for many years and it's finally come. So really excited for that. We're going to pretty well just go out this afternoon, try and find a camp spot, and then we'll finish the track off tomorrow afternoon. So yeah, going to make a weekend out of it. Really keen, so let's get into it. Come across the new bypass here on the Bridle Track. So this is the section of track that they just created to bypass the rock slide that had closed this track for so many years. If you look out and along the riverside there, you can see the old road etched into the side of the cliff, whereas the new road goes up and around. So somewhere along this little section of road here is that rock slide, and I don't know exactly where it is, but there is a pretty noticeable section of the old road that we no longer get to drive, and it's somewhere along here. It's about maybe 600 meters worth, so within the next 600 meters was the impassable section, which is pretty cool. So we got camp finally set up down here, down the Bridle Track. We're less than 15 metres from the Turon River, so really stoked about that. We know that any camp spot down by the Turon is going to be really good, and I love this region for a reason, and that's one of them. So we're going to just be chilling around here this afternoon, enjoying this spot. We don't have much planned, and we're going to be finishing off the Bridle Track tomorrow, heading the rest of the way into Hill End. It was a pretty good drive in. A lot of the roadworks have made the road really easy, so yeah, we made some pretty good time. We're almost all the way through. So this is a nice little open camp spot. Just going to enjoy it, cook up some dinner, and then head to bed with the sounds of the river. It's going to be really awesome. and looking forward to it.
A bit soft. Eh?
It's not going to split.
Yeah, it's too soft. It's having no effect because it's soft. It's bouncing. Waste of time.
Yeah. Now as we sit here enjoying this beautiful scenery with almost no one else around, it's kind of crazy to think that a couple of hundred years ago these hills would have been bustling with fortune seekers and gold miners in the gold rush. And to think that that little track that we came down today used to be the main thoroughfare is kind of crazy. I mean, there were whole mining operations set up here in these hills, and yeah, it's kind of crazy to think. Here we are a couple of hundred years later, almost no one around. What a cool spot. The sound of the river is so peaceful. Really Didn't expect to find a spot like this so empty along the bridle track on a Saturday. Like, this is just awesome. Just going to be having some chicken, potato and pasta for dinner tonight, really simple, and then just sit around and relax. A lot of our firewood is really wet, so not really sure if we're going to have a big fire tonight. We might just have a simple one and retreat off to bed pretty early, have a relaxing night. Touch wood, but there's been no bad weather yet, so hoping that that continues.
Geez, when I had to back up that hill just a little while to come down here.
Yeah.
You got a flint thing? I got one. Do you want it? At least you know it works.
So funnily enough, the rain decided to show up just as we started the fire. Got the thunder rumbling in the background, so we may even be in for a storm, so that'll be pretty cool if it happens. The rain sometimes puts a dampener on things, but never really stops us, so see how the night goes.
Taste the mouse for a while.
Yeah, but it's about getting the base hot enough to heat the wood up. That's what you want to do. It's a little bit of lubricated. So we had a really good night last night actually. The rain ended up easing off, which is a really welcome treat, and we ended up having some star cover. So I didn't expect the rain to go away. In fact, it was forecast to rain for the whole weekend, and now we've even got the sun out this morning. It's just awesome. There's just something about this region, and it's nice and sunny in the morning, and it's just the sun's beaming off of everything. It's a really beautiful part of the world. Pretty well this morning, all we're going to be doing here is enjoying this spot for a little bit longer in this nice weather, cook up some breakfast, and then we're going to complete the bridle track and end up in Hill End. I'm really excited for that, as I've been wanting to tick this off the bucket list for so long, ever since I started the work on this track to complete it. So looking forward to it. We'll see how the morning goes. I don't think I've ever been disappointed with a camp spot by the Turon River. Let's be honest, this river provides some of the best mountain river camping in New South Wales. It's such a pristine atmosphere, and that's not necessarily just along the Bridle Track either. The Turon River spans for so long down through Turon National Park and all down there, and it even eventually becomes the Macquarie River. So there's stacks of beautiful spots all along this river for us to enjoy. I don't think that there's a single bad one. So let's keep in mind as well, guys, when we come out to these places, especially the Turon lately has been getting stacks of attention. Get stacks of people asking me for locations and all these bits and pieces about where I'm camping and what I'm doing. It's really important, if you're going to come out to these locations, especially if we give them out to you, that you need to respect them, because the Turon has been getting a stack of negative attention online with a lot of littering and rubbish being left around. It's pretty simple. If we keep doing this, we're going to lose it. It's going to get locked up, and there's literally nothing that we're going to be able to do about it. So our behaviour while we're out here is so important. We really need to look after these spots, and that's not just rubbish. Your behaviour while you're camping, put your fires out as well. It's so important for the future of these remote destinations, and that our access to them is continued. All depends on your behaviour when you're out here. So a lot of people, I get asked for locations all the time, and I have many friends as well on YouTube that get asked for locations. If you're going to ask for them, make sure you're going to go out and respect them, because we're very reluctant to give them out for this very reason. If you guys don't do it at home, don't do it out here. And I'm well aware that it's not everyone that does it. It's literally a minority that's ruining it for the majority, but it's really going to be unfortunate for those people like myself that frequent these locations if we can't access these campgrounds due to that minority. So please guys, when you head out to these spots, make sure you pick up your rubbish, behave responsibly. You know, it's not hard, and we'll be able to continue accessing these spots for future generations to come.
Oh, we're not really. Because I'm going to do a two stop and break down. motion of this. Get that piece of wood out of there. That's what's.
Hawkins Hill is the steepest section of the Bridle Track, and it was also where the largest amount of gold that was dug up throughout the gold rush that was discovered right here on Hawkins Hill. Well, there we have it, finally in Hill End, and after all these years, ticked the Bridle Track off the list in its completion. So really stoked about that. Like I said, about 15 years since people have been able to complete this track entirely from Bathurst to Hill End, and there we go, we just ticked it off the bucket list. Really fun weekend, really great camp spot last night. Really enjoyable, no hard forward driving at all, which was cool, nice and relaxing, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this one as much as we did. If you did, consider subscribing, leave a like on the video, and of course tell me what you thought down in the comments section below, guys. Thank you very much for watching this one, and as always, we will see you in the next adventure.